Oh, greetings to Love Them Knives channel. What? Oh my goodness. Yes, these are one of those times that I really get my juices flowing because we've got the Eschaton in our presence, and it has been a while since the May Knife News announcement saying, guess what? Something crazy coming down the pike. And let me tell you now, sir, there is something crazy. That's for ooh, baby, that's good. So, it's I put these up on my Instagram the other day, and one guy says, so that's basically an integral. And I said, close, but no cigar. Yeah, I mean, this part, yeah, it's a one-piece deal. But this part ain't part of that part, so it's two parts. And they're hooked together with some screws. And this is the carbon fiber one that has a stonewash blade. Interesting that they do a stonewash blade for a knife that, of course, you got kind of satin flats, but that's all this and a bag of chips as far as class goes. But, you kind of got this stonewash over here. So, yeah, maybe it pulls it together. And black with satin flats. And a darker type of titanium on there. And then, of course, this is titanium on titanium blue. This is the other model, and let me look. The A is the blue, so it's a 719 WE719A Eschaton. The B is carbon fiber. What do you think? I mean, you're either gonna love these or you're going to hate these. And it was interesting in my posting because I really thought, where does it say M390 right there? M390 blade, by the way, almost 9 inches overall, basically almost a 4-inch blade, not quite 9 inches overall. Super, super light. Do you think they skeletonized some parts? Just saying. No, I mean, I was surprised that there were some people who were going, yuck, or ugliest knife I've ever seen, or looks too fragile to be, a real user, that kind of thing. No, probably not if I was a lumberjack going out in the woods. Would this be my folding knife backup to begin with? Probably wouldn't even carry a folding knife. It'd be a fixed blade. But, no. But I said, Here's the breaking news, dude. Not every knife produced in the world is for practical, real-world application. I know. Whew. That was a news flash. Yes, some of them are art knives. Like a lot of the really high-end custom ones are very artsy looking, they're not really thinking about ergos and, the application in the real world necessarily. They're just imaginative, artistic craftsmen that are doing what they're doing. So I get it. I get it. Some people don't get it, which surprises me because this is not only just a tool that's used for practical application. It's a hobby. You probably didn't know that. People actually collect these. Sometimes they don't even use them. What? But I won't care. I definitely would, you want to walk into a place, your buddies or whatever, watching the game and say, looky, I got in my pocket. That's a heck of a knife, isn't it? This is some crazy stuff. This is going to evoke some kind of a response, at least. Ceramic bearings, flipper tab way up here, But if you saw my review on the Browse Eschaton, 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 the Zeta, the Theta, because there's going to be a Zeta that WE has coming out, which is a Elijah Isham design. And they're going to have a Theta that's going to be coming out for Kaiser. Are we confused yet? I don't know. In any case, the Browse Eschaton with the G10 and steel liner scales and the D2 blade, that was real edgy. That just seemed like it needed a whole lot of extra something. I don't know if I'd want to try and do a budget version. I mean, that was $180 something, about $200, but not, I mean, this is $350. So big difference in price. Give me the titanium. Give me rounded edges. I mean, these are angled, but they're not sharp, okay? These are not sharp. The Eschaton was sharp. They were just like sharp and cut throughs. I'll put the link to my review on the Eschaton, the Browse Eschaton, and you can look at that. Big difference in these knives. Now, the Browse Raven, yes, okay. Hey, I'll tell you what. Well, I wasn't going to do this right away, but I think I'm going to do this just to kind of clarify some things. Okay, there's the Eschaton with G10 and just stainless inner scales or inner liners, okay? See what I'm saying? Okay. And basically $190. Okay. Crazy? No. I was like, not, no. Now, the Raven, that was a titanium knife. Now, hello. So you're talking more money. You're talking actually even more money than the limited edition Eschaton, which might be a hard sell. In any case, so these were limited to like a run of 500, with the satin blade, then 500 with the whatever, the stonewash, that kind of. So it ends up being 1,000 or more in that run. In any case, so about the same size, a little bit different blade shape if you notice. See that? And the cutouts are different, but you kind of have this thing going on with the Eschaton, the Raven, the Eschaton. This one is pretty light. I don't know what this one weighed. almost 5 ounces. So this is 3. Okay, this is 3 ounces. I mean, this is so light. Big long knife. Hold on. Let me show you one more thing, and then we'll get into this. Okay, so when Knife News came out, right, and this was the announcement, and this was in May of 2017, 2 radical designs. Here's this. Man, I'd like to see that in green. That'd be cool. Looks real shiny too, not like a stonewash underlay, but and this wasn't blackened either, so that's different. I'd like to get my hands on that one wherever it is. But okay, so and the article continues, and it talks about the Zeta that's coming out for WE, and it isn't right now at this taping that it's out available, but probably won't be long. And then, of course, he did the Kaiser Megatherium, but then the Kaiser, not Zeta, but Theta, Theta, is right here. Hello. Okay. And that looks really cool. You can see that. I'll give you the link to the Instagram account for Elijah Isham. And I guess for Kaiser. And I guess for WE. But Isham Blade Works. So, I mean, he had a video of him actually holding and flipping this knife and this and that. And I actually Instagrammed with him back and forth for a while, talking about the thing with the Browse Eschaton, the Eschaton, He sent me a picture of the Theta for Kaiser because we were talking about Kaiser and the Megatherium for a while. So that was kind of cool. And some other advanced designs that I think are on his site anyhow that he's shown. Let's talk about the knife. Sorry about that, but we just kind of went down that road. Just a lot to talk about. Really good looking knife. You can see you've got two parts to this knife. You know, here's this frame here. And these are scales that are screwed on at these points here. Of course, you know, they're the pivot. And then these points here, they're attached to this titanium, another subframe, second part here. Now, you've got a liner. Let's get this out of the way for a minute. You got a liner lock here. See where that is? So that's about 20% lockup. It's a little hard to see because it's black. See where it is? One thing I was going to say about this, and then I kind of phased off into another discussion, was, you know, your intuitive way you hold the knife. Now, can I hit the flipper tab? Yes, I can on this one. The Eschaton, the Browse Eschaton G10, whatever. The flipper tab, for some reason, was, it was up near the front like this, but for some reason, I couldn't quite get my finger up there. On this one, if I'm just intuitive and I just don't even look at what I'm doing, I can still do this. So it's within reach. If it had been much further forward, this would have not worked well for me, and I wouldn't have been that happy with it. But this did. So this is right within my grasp. I guess if you have smaller hands, shorter fingers, something, this may be a stretch for you. So it is that way. Keep in mind, like I said, ceramic bearings, M390 blade. This one's stone washed. This one's black with satin flats, big cutaways, limited edition. They're making 500 of these. They're making 700 of these. That's it. So, interesting. I mean, just check it out. You go, man, he shut up for 3 seconds. What happened? See? Oh, man, that's so light. So light. Let's get the weight out of the way, and then we'll compare it with some other knives as far as size goes. Okay, this is the carbon fiber one. Yeah, 3 ounces, right? And that is 85 grams. So, 85 grams. This one's heavier. This one's full tie. Okay, let's put it on the scale. 110 grams. Not 85. And it's 3.9. So, there you go. Not 3.0, 3.9 ounces. Still, I mean, for a knife that's almost 9 inches long, where do you do that? Tell you what, I mean, this is, basically a full-size EDC, right? And this is 2.8 ounces. This is the Manix Ultra Light. This one's almost as light. Check this out. And this one is about 1 inch longer. It doesn't look that much longer. Well, let's get the pivots up here. There. Change the aspect ratio here. Get the pivots lined up. Longer tail on it, right? Bigger knife. Definitely bigger knife. Let's throw something else out here. Fancy? Come here. Fancy. S110V. And she's got a 5-inch tail on her, big time. And check that out. Smaller. Definitely smaller. Where are we going? Let's slide this one up. Hey, you want me to take this apart? I'll tell you what. Actually, I got these two knives. And I got these two knives at one time. And my buddy Wes, one of our viewers that I've got to know, said, yeah, I'll take the carbon fiber. So I said, okay, I'll sit in for this because I want both of them on my channel, right? So if I start taking this one apart, I have a feeling he's going to start singing that song, you know, I'm about to kick somebody's ass. So I'm not going to take it apart. Take it easy, Wes. But yeah, this is interesting. I mean, I don't think it's going to be all that. I think I might do that maybe for another video and do it with this one because it's basically the same. But you can see that you've got an attachment point here, because you've got the liner for the liner lock running in here. And one guy made kind of an interesting comment, not only the person that said basically it's an integral, but which is not really, but I mean, kind of a good observation for no more than you probably saw on my Instagram. But the other thing is, another guy says, well, basically, if it wasn't for just the little scale wrapped over, it'd be a frame lock. Well, nah, this one's more really a true liner lock in that regard. You can see where you've got the attachment point for the liner here, and then this comes in and does that too. Hold on, let me get Mr. Flashlight out here. So you can kind of, okay, there we go. See where that is? And then on the other side, the attachment point over there for that. You don't need two, just for that, for the scale. And then at the top, of course, where it attaches to that point. So, yeah, absolutely. You know, I would have liked this better in just a standard either satin or stonewash blade. I'm not big on black blades. Here's the deal, though. If I had a knife like this in my permanent collection, which right now I'm contemplating, but it's you know, they're not a cheap knife. They're $350. And they are currently available at Blade HQ. At least they were this morning. And I mean, oh my God, I checked back later to look at this one, and it was already sold out, the blue, which is crazy because, you know, they made 500 of these and 700 of these. I think they thought that carbon fiber was going to blow out the deal a lot quicker. See, check this out. And of course, we're like January 12th, so yeah, already out of stock. Okay, the blue. And you know, here's the stats they've got listed here. 8.8 overall, 8.35 inch blade. 0.16 thickness, so we'll check that. It should be about 4 millimeter then if it's 0.16 thick blade stock. Bowler M390, Wharncliffe, flat grind, black, of course on this one. And handle length right at 5 inches. Okay. Handle thickness 0.56, so it's a little on the, you know, more on the beefy side actually. 3.89, we had what, 3.9, so it was really close. Right hand tip up, that kind of thing. And here you go. Please reserve your knife. Maybe these weren't even, oh, this was probably, this is maybe a pre-order still. I don't know, the other one was listed. Check this out. See, these already show in stock right here, the carbon fiber. So this is just right out of the box, folks. This is like, these are just hitting the market just now. So, and so I'm dating myself and my video on that, in that regard. And this one being 3 ounce, not 3.9, you know, right hand tip up, plain flat grind, you know, Wharncliffe, M390, and almost a 9-inch knife overall. Like I said, the 719B is the carbon fiber, the 719A is the blue right here. So, interesting. Two types of knives. Let me give you a little bit better close-up of this here. Thank God for good cameras, huh? And I know, I mean, this may not be your cup of tea. When I first saw this in Knife News, I just go, yeah, I do want one of these. It's just a radical design, kind of fantasy knife look. I get that. Let me roll this back the other way. See the pocket clip. Okay. Single screw. You can see how this is a one-piece section. You know, and there you go, showing off your skills, right? I thought Reich was bad about that. They were doing all kinds of integrals and the hummingbird knife and all the crazy stuff. And it's just insane. But, I mean, look at, you know, what you've got to do from a machining standpoint here. This is a lot of work, actually. For a machine, at least. And whoever programmed the damn thing, that's pretty good piece of work. And then you're taking these pivots and you're cutting them off to fit them in this area. So crazy there, and on the other side too. Oh man, hold on. Let me see if I can get my calibration thing to calibrate. And you know what? I'm not sure that this is the appropriate measuring tool. I might have to go this way with this because I don't know where the fat part of the blade is. Yeah, 4mm. You can see that. Okay. So that should be a 0.15. Well, it's 0.16. Okay. I was going to say 0.158, something like that. We're just splitting hairs. Now, where am I going to catch this one? 0.55 at the heavy part, 14.2mm. You can see where I'm catching it right there. Okay. Good size knife, though. Good looking knife. How about the action there, LTK? Let's talk about the action. Actually, let's talk about the action. Hold on, I'll scoot you away because I don't want anyone to mess with you. Okay, so here you go. There's the action right there. I'll tell you what, this has very little detent. It's not a bad thing. I'm sure this was intentional, okay? It's a very light knife, so it's a very light blade. You don't need, you know, a lot of detent. I mean, if you pull this, yeah, it's even in a lazy way, it's coming out. There's enough detent to really get it deployed easily. Even though it's not very strong. I mean, look at this. I'm not like, yeah, I'm not throwing 100-mile-an-hour fastballs these days, and that is nothing. Just 98. I'm down to 98. Yeah, that's not much, but it's smooth. It's really smooth. Okay, check this action going back in here. Yeah, that's pretty nice. That's really good action. The detent's not that strong, you know? So just in case you have a certain preference, I think I'm pretty good with this, actually. I don't know that I would have made that detent necessarily any stronger. This is not like where it's going to come out in your pocket, you know, because you're active and running around or whatever. It's an option to deploy the blade, that's for sure, isn't it? Ergos are typical for this and the Eschaton and the Raven and kind of really the Megatherium as well, which is you have this big front choil here. Big old front choil, right? So you get your finger up here, but you feel like you're kind of riding in the back seat a little bit because you're back. I mean, you're not really on top of this blade. One of the most comfortable ways actually to hold this for me, or meaningful ways at least, is like this. I don't know if I'd really, call that a choil per se, but it's an unsharpened area, I guess. But I mean, you can choke up and you can put your thumb up here on the blade. And so you can, now, then your second finger's kind of rolling in here. And now you got an impact tool on this end somehow. And also the tailpiece wandering off to a tip. No, that's not the way I like to roll necessarily with, a standard EDC type knife. But I understand that this is a different purpose-built knife. This is because it's a lust knife. If you dig this design, this is your thing. So doesn't have to make sense. I can understand not making sense. I'm married, so I've been in those discussions. But yeah, I like this. Actually, I like it like this. But I mean, it's just a show knife, a pride knife. It has angles. Yes, you have this angle. Yes, you have. You see what I'm doing here? Angles are different than sharp corners. These are not sharp corners. These are not sharp corners. Well, you'd think for $350 they better not be as well, but they aren't. I mean, this is okay. This is fine. There's nothing. I mean, it's angular. Of course, it's the design, but there's no sharp corners. I mean, with carbon fiber, of course, it's a little tougher to achieve, but yeah, I guess you can get a little drag off of here or there. It's, I'm gonna be very forgiving because it's a design thing. It's not an intentional lack of attention to detail. It's just a design thing. And yes, you do want these angles there. You don't want everything rounded like a beach ball. That's not the way this knife was designed or intended. Maybe a little bit more. I'd like to say this is edgy, but it's not. It's really what I'm feeling here is the jimping on the liner. So that's not an issue. I mean, it could be if you did a lot of cutting tests for a long time with this. Just kind of like the glimpse is like this as well. There's a lot sticking up here. And this is not as bad as the glimpse, actually. But, I just don't see anybody really doing hours worth of heavy cutting with this. It's not because, this is 4mm blade stock. I mean, look at that. I mean, there's blade stock there. Now, whether you could, stand sideways on the top of this carbon fiber handle here and not break it away, well, that's a whole different thing. I would recommend you not do that. So, just saying. I have a feeling a lot of these are going to be in people's collection, in their showcase, proud carry, that kind of thing. And, this is just a limited run saying, here we are. Like the ZT999, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the box it comes in. So you still with me out there? 30 minutes in? Come on. You can make it. There's the box. And inside, Joe, the CEO, done put his script on it. And which one is this anyhow? This is, this is the, is this the carbon fiber one, I think? Yes. In any case, I'm still trying to look it over to see if it is. Yeah. Carbon fiber. If I could read. Number 44 out of 700. Well, obviously it's carbon fiber, only 700 being made of that, 500 the other. But just to give you an idea of what the certificate of authenticity, and the box, microfiber cloth, and it comes, it's in a fitted box with debris in it already. Lint. We got the lint. Yeah, I was impressed with it. I thought it was kind of cool. The WE cloth, like we got the certificate, so it all fits in nicely, and the slip cover, so you don't get the shelf wear on the box that you would otherwise get if you can put the box in the slip cover on camera, looking through the lens. Congratulations. So that's nice. And these little cutaways, where you can get a hold of it and pull it out. So that's great. Love it. Really like it. I guess you don't get a zipper pouch. How the hell did that happen? In any case, yeah, and these are Torx screws. So there's no special tool, correct? Yeah. Kind of figuring that out? That's interesting. So, just regular old Torxes. Pull it apart, put it back together. Man, this thing's so light. This is crazy light. It's crazy light. Action on this one as well. This is if you like your knives with a little bit more heft, and hell, this isn't anything. What's this, 3.9? I mean, talk about crazy light for a 9-inch knife, huh? And what have I forgot to tell you about? Probably something, right? So, I don't know if I haven't showed you all the angles. You can scream at me in the comment section. But, well, we probably forgot to do one thing now, didn't we? And if you're still here, it means you have no life. No. How do you cut paper with this blade? Just like that, I reckon. So that one's sharp. M390. Yeah, I've heard of that steel before. Yes, I have. They're doing some cutting. So yeah, they're sharp. God, I can't even imagine. I mean, maybe this wouldn't be as difficult as I imagine it to be if you ever had to sharpen this. I guess you just make this one of your passes and then you make that one of your passes. I mean, kind of like sharpening a Tanto. Yeah, so it's a doable deal. Ah, yes. Interesting. I think, to tell you the truth, I think these knives, since they're a limited edition of only 1,200 units coming out, I think it's going to be a lot like the ZT, limited edition releases. I think this is, although this just came out on a regular site, it's not the 10-second and we're sold out thing, but I think that these will be very collectible. I really do. And does that seem like a pretty obvious statement? I think it is a pretty obvious statement. I think they'll be very collectible. And going forward, I don't think you're going to, I think, you could spend your money less wisely. I think this is a pretty smart purchase if you want to retain value and just have a crazy radical looking knife in your collection. Yeah, I'm digging them. And yes, I would like one of each, please. And right now, I do have them. And tomorrow, I'm not going to have this one. Just saying. All right. Hey, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much. Good knives. Really like them. And, whew, yeah, we're using the handle. We're using all of it. Cool knife. Really like it. so much nicer, I guess, done. Nicey? What the hell is that? Dicey? Slicey? Nicer. Interesting. Radical design. When I saw them, I go, yeah, I got to have one. And now I feel like I'd like to have one of each. And there we go from there. What do you think? Make your comments in the comment section. I know some of you are going to love this, blow your mind, your head explodes, and other people are going to go, why would they even waste the materials making a knife like this? And, you know, I get the former. Yes, my head explodes. Yes, it does. Love it. Thank you so much for joining us. You know what we do on this channel. What do? We love them knives, so stay sharp.